Hello, everyone. This is Venus Brown again with another reaction to Heartstopper Season 2. This is Episode 8, and yes, it is the finale. And we don't get another one until Season 3 comes out, whenever that might be. Yeah, my kid said 500 years from now. Better not be. We are not dealing with J.R.R. Martin here. Now, this episode is called Perfect, which I hate because there is no such thing as perfect. Nobody's perfect. It really drives me a little crazy to see people trying to be perfect, trying to act perfect. Yes, reach for the stars, do everything you can, but trying to be perfect is just an impossible pursuit. Maybe it'll be a good thing, but maybe it's people trying to be someone else's version of perfect. Now, last episode, Tal finally found out that Elle actually got into the Lambert School of Art. She was worried that he would be very upset. He did react very nice. It seemed genuine. He wants Elle to be happy wherever she is. That's important. And we finally got some open understanding that what Isaac is probably experiencing is this feeling of being aromantic, asexual, and not knowing what to do with that, not knowing what's going on or if something's wrong with him. That's why I said on the last episode that is why some of these labels that we all get so upset and frustrated by are important. When you don't know who you are and you don't know where you fit, and there are no words to help describe that, it can be very isolating and lonely feeling, and it can be very confusing. Like the kid that talked to him said, once he figured that stuff out, it was like it freed him. It made him able to be himself. Then we saw at the end the situation with Darcy and her mom being very nasty and very abusive, just wanting to wear more masculine clothing to the prom. It sucks that there are parents that are this way, that end up putting their children in situations like this. Because honestly, children being out on their own when they are teenagers is not a good thing. I know some people think that you're going to give them tough love or whatever, and that's going to make things better. This has traditionally caused serious, irreparable harm to many for their life. Not just the running away, but parents pushing their kids out of their house. Either way, if the kid is running away because they feel that they are unsafe and unaccepted by you, that's no better than if you're freaking kicking them out and putting them in a bad situation when they actually need support, not to be freaking booted out the door. Okay, Taylen, do you have anything to say?
I think that's the way that Daphne is as good as
Yeah, I was really surprised that dinner didn't go much worse than it did. Nick handled it very well considering the whole situation. And I was so grateful for Tori sticking up for Charlie the way she did.
I definitely expected.
Yeah, I expected her to not put up with his shit, but like the way she handled it, I really appreciated that.
She was interacting with David. It felt like a sister with like an older brother.
Mhm.
It's like she was very like openly aggressive for him being the younger.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yep. And that's why I was kind of glad because she was stepping into another role almost and seemed completely comfortable with herself doing that. Whereas some people would trying to approach it the right way. If you're going to be passive like that when you're dealing with a person like that, you're not likely to get anywhere. I'm glad she was just straight up not putting up with his shit because that's what he needed.
I like that she got her nails involved.
Yes. I strongly suspected that Nick's dad was going to be like he was because he said he was flighty, that he, hasn't been dependable. And I've seen many situations where kids' fathers, mothers sometimes are that way, really have no real relationship with their kids. And when they do try to have a relationship with their kids, it's like very superficial and it's usually all about them and it leaves the child feeling like they don't give a damn. They don't care enough about their own child to have a relationship with him. But I wasn't sure how he was going to be about Nick. And when he kept like bringing up all the stuff about girlfriends and everything, I was very worried that he was going to be just a completely toxic asshole And he didn't do that. He was not as bad as his son, David. You take the good, you take the bad, but it still sucks when a parent can't really be there for his kid and the kid feels like they don't know them or care about them. Honestly, when I was growing up, I felt like my mom didn't know me. She chooses to understand parts of me. Our relationship is much better now than it was. I guess we should get on with this last episode. And I hope I'm wrong about the meaning of its title, Perfect. I just hate that name. Perfect. Nothing is perfect and no one is perfect. This is my byline. I'm bi, actually.
You sure you want to go? I don't have to hide my amazing boyfriend anymore. Everything's perfect.
Do you want to be my girlfriend?
Was that a serious question? Yes, I want to be your girlfriend.
Why are you being weird about it?
Yay! Well, where did Darcy go? I thought she would go to her house.
Where's Darcy?
This is a mess.
I'm texting the gang of boys. Oh God. Guys, I'm having a breakdown.
Did I? That wasn't fun.
Invite him tonight.
No, I don't know.
We need more chaperones.
These teachers are great. Spam callers. The only other people that call are my mom and my sister. You see what they're doing? I don't trust teenage kids. Not when it comes to stuff like that, especially the popular ones. They tend to be mean and gossipy. At least that's been my experience with them.
Is it true you guys are going out?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were gay.
Why? Actually, but yeah.
I told
I
you.
didn't believe you. You can get something to eat. Had a really late breakfast. So.
Idiots for assuming you're straight, including myself in that statement.
You kind of assumed he was straight.
All the things that happened to him in the past, he still carries it all with him. Still causes him a lot of pain.
If bad happens, it can affect you for a really long time. My dad died when I was 12, and a lot of the reason I get so freaked out about losing my friends. Yeah, you know how bad it was.
Charlie never really talked to me about it.
Me neither.
Yep, all that unresolved trauma. I do feel like Nick is going to need to talk to somebody about Charlie's eating disorder because I don't think he's going to know what to do.
You look so good. So good. Shut up.
It's Darcy.
And what are your intentions with my owl?
Richard? Hello?
You're so...
Glamorous.
Hello.
Oh my god, look at me.
That jacket is awesome.
You can be a fan.
Oh, so nice.
Where's Darcy?
Oh, she's running late. Let's just go inside.
Well, are you sure we can wait for her?
I can't believe Nick's showing off his boyfriend.
So embarrassing, just standing there on my own.
Getting awesome.
Let's go, Freddie. And smile.
I could easily have a girlfriend any day now.
Yeah?
Is Tara Jones single?
She's gay. Everyone knows this. Come on, man. What's wrong? What's happening?
I don't think she's coming. I know something's wrong. How do you talk to someone about something that they don't want to talk about?
Maybe.
That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
Maybe you just have to try. Yeah, even if it doesn't work.
True. For sure. What did I do? No! No, what did I do? Back to the show.
Pretty stupid thing for us to do.
I was going to suggest dinner and drinks. Next time?
Next time.
Why should they have to see? It's not for them. I do have a free house.
Darcy, are you okay?
Where's Tara?
She went to find you.
Yep, everything's perfect.
Wait, I'm Darcy's friend. Is she okay?
And how would I know that? She had another one of her tantrums last night. She looked like a lesbian.
If I find her, I'll ask her to let you know she's okay.
Thanks, then. Bye.
Hello?
We found her. She's okay.
Oh, thank God. Why didn't you walk to my house?
Because I didn't want you to know. Sometimes my mum makes me hate myself. You've only ever seen half of my life.
And I still love you.
You sure? I'm a disaster.
I actually like how much of a disaster you are.
I am so in love with you. I'm bad at saying it.
Practice makes perfect.
I love you, I love you, I love you!
I love you more.
Just let it feel Still got love for you. Pack your dolls in a sweater.
We need to go home soon.
No.
I think I had a crush on the instructor. I was obsessed with him. Got that trophy for being the best team player.
You gonna talk to him?
He never told me about the bullying.
Everything's fine now.
Is everything fine? You don't have to be perfect with me.
I thought things were better nowadays. Call me disgusting to my face. And it went on for so long that I think I started to believe what they were saying. I used to cut myself sometimes. I don't want to feel like that anymore. I just don't want to annoy you or burden you. I don't want you to think I'm some fragile, broken mess. But I've done so many things because you were there, holding my hand. I love...
Nikki, I'm here!
Okay, so that was the season finale. I felt like they wrapped things up fairly well. Things seem pretty nice, I think. But I think there's a lot of stuff kind of simmering under the surface. And if Solitaire is any indication, I think things are going to get much worse. But it was a nice ending. And even though the prom date for Darcy and Tara did not at all go how they planned, I'm glad that Tara at least found out what's going on and that Darcy got back to them and that things seem to be fairly resolved, at least for the time being. When I saw she did not go to Tara's house, that really worried me.
Yeah, when I saw Tara walking through the neighborhood, I was like freaking out.
Yeah, some scary stuff. And it looks like Isaac's starting to figure out more about himself, and hopefully he'll be able to talk to James, help him understand a little better. Although it seems like James sort of had some sort of an idea of what might be going on. But so far, the Tao and Elle situation looks pretty good. Like, both sets of parents seem to be open and okay with everything that's going on, which is good. And they seem to be supportive. So Tao's mom seems to be really supportive, but that's okay. I do wonder when they do season 3, like how far into the storyline it's gonna go. Because I know that book Solitaire, it says that it starts out, I think, a little bit after the point that they were at the end of season 1 or season 2. Sounds like it would be basically right now, but it's not right now because certain things have not happened that are spoken about in Solitaire. Do you have any thoughts on this season or the coming season?
I think that might talk a bit more about Darcy, her parents, and possibly a bit more about Isaac, and is starting to realize that he's asexual and romantic.
Yep, I think because I've been listening to the Solitaire Audible, that's giving me like too much information about what's probably going to happen with Nick and Charlie, so I'm not going to say more than what I already have.
And Harry definitely seemed to be a lot better.
Yeah, Harry did seem a lot better. Even though I do not at all agree with any of the shit that Ben did to Charlie, to Imogen, or any of it, I think it was a big step at least for him to come out and apologize in a seemingly legitimate way. Just the way he walked away looked like he might do something spiteful out of anger. If he does that, then I will retract my statement. As far as I know, he's done with the show. I don't think he's supposed to come back in season 3.
Well, I mean, even if the actor isn't coming back, they might.
Right, they could do stuff. But yeah, Harry seemed to legitimately get better. Like, he legitimately stuck up for a couple people a couple times, even about the homosexuality. I feel like Harry wants people to like him so much that it seems like he can't deal with the fact that Nick doesn't want to be friends with him anymore. And maybe that's why he is doing that, but it could be something else. Because we don't really know anything about Harry outside of school. So who knows? But it does feel a little bit like he's so enamored with people liking him. Like I said, back when they were at his birthday party, he went looking for Nick all over that hotel, trying to find him to see if they were okay because he thought Nick was in a bad mood. Seems like he wants all this attention and doesn't like people not liking him. Sometimes you gotta clean up your attitude if you want people to like you and to keep liking you. Looks like he was at least trying. Trying sometimes is not enough, but it's at least a step forward. Alright, so hopefully season 3 will come out soon and we can get on it, but I kind of doubt it. I haven't heard anything about it being in production yet or anything. I know the actor's strike is just ending and the writer's strike is supposed to be ending, but that doesn't guarantee anything, and some of these shows are taking a good long time to go from talking about the coming season to actually producing the show and then putting it on. And before I leave, I'll say what I think was like the best and worst episode. I think I'm always gonna like the one at Harry's party where they kissed the first time. Just the tension was so high there, and it finally happened. And even though Charlie thought that maybe it was a mistake and that he messed up, and Nick looked really upset towards the end, they did wrap it up with Nick coming back to apologize before that episode ended. So I thought that was really good. I really loved it. Worst episode. I don't know. I think maybe the episode where we're first introduced to David, because David just brought this, like, such a negative feeling to the show. And I knew he was going to be that kind of person. It's just that it did feel like that was a big part of the reason that the show felt so weighed down. Just the way he was, the way he acted. The fact that Nick had to go into a position where he's hiding within his family when he had already come out to his mom, coming out of the closet and then having to go back into the closet, which I know happens. I know it happens repeatedly, but the reality that it was happening in their home where he had already been out and his mom was so welcoming and everything, that's not saying anything bad about the show itself. Just felt like that's where it really kind of took hold. And then, like, last episode, when Nick's dad comes, they have to deal with the whole way that his brother is being. that adds to that negative, heavy feeling also. But I didn't feel like last episode was the worst. I did feel like the one where David came home from university was probably the worst. I think that's all I have for you, and I will see you next season or whenever you see any of the other shows that I react to.
Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.